We are going to shift now. Our next presenter is Millissa Alexander. She's with New Bern Grand Marina and Yacht Club, and she put her contact information for you into the chat, so you can all take a look at that. And we're going to start with a video that Millissa pre-recorded for you, so just give me one moment to get that all set. And here we go with Melissa's video.
Hello, everyone. This is Millissa Alexander, and I am here today to talk to you about the New Bern Grand Marina Yacht Club, located in historic New Bern, North Carolina. We are about 21 nautical miles off the ICW, but we have been in existence since 1986. And so those of you who are new, I tend to go over the history to explain a little bit about the marina. And so some of you who have been a part of some of our previous discussions or attended any of our lunch and learns, some of this historical relevance might be a bit repetitive for you, so I'll make it as brief as I possibly can. But New Bern, North Carolina is North Carolina's original capital city, so we are very rich in history. The historic district butts up next to the marina, and by way of having that, our marina is literally 1 block away from the historic district. The community was formed in 1710, and so the architecture that is all throughout the historic district, the beautiful homes, everything is just simply spectacular. The other thing that we have are a number of restaurants that are literally 1 block away from the marina. And we have a hardware store, they stock boat repair parts, and we have an active theater community, we have the arts district, and a number of different things that just make the marina a perfect place for boaters to visit. And quite honestly, most of the folks that visit us usually end up extending their stay because they've traveled the 21 nautical miles off the ICW. So it's a little bit of a jaunt, but they also just end up falling in love with the community and everything that the marina has to offer. Some of the things that I can go over during our last lunch and learn, there were some questions about pricing, so I wanted to make sure that I addressed those types of things right off the bat with this particular lunch and learn, excuse me. So we are a protected intercoastal waterfront marina with deep water dockage. We can accommodate 223 boats ranging from 30 to 65 feet, and then larger boats of any size if they're willing to side tie, because we have a 712-foot wave attenuator dock, and we are able to accommodate boats of any length on that. Liveaboards are permitted. We have about 50 liveaboards in the marina. We also sell boat slips, and we rent. We have a daily transient rate and a long-term rate, and I'll touch on those in a few minutes. But one of the things that I can tell you right now is we are selling boat slips very rapidly because it's the most affordable way to buy into the historic district. And so we have a number of investors that are buying multiple boat slips. And to date, of the 223 boat slips that we have available, we are about at 115 sold, I think, as of yesterday. But we have 30, 50, and 100 power amp service available. We have high-speed Wi-Fi, cable TV connections, 150 different cable stations. We have an in-slip pump out service, which is for a fee, and then we have a pump out facility that you can take your boat to. We also have a live 24/7 marina cam. So if you are at the marina, you can watch your boat from your phone, your mobile device, your laptop, PC, whatever. You can watch your boat at any particular point in time. And so it's very reassuring for those people who are traveling about and not necessarily on their boat. We also have floating docks, which allow for ease of docking and boarding. And then we have air-conditioned restrooms and showers, a mailroom, and laundry facilities. So those are just kind of the basics. But our rates, I'd like to touch on those. Our transient rates, our daily rate is $2 per foot per day. We have a 1 week rate that's $5 per foot per week. If you stay 2 weeks, then that drops a little bit more. So we incentivize you. If you extend your stay 2 weeks, it's $4 per foot per week. 3 weeks, it's $3.50 per foot per week. And the 4 week rate is $3 per foot per week. And then if you are a U.S. boater, and this is also applicable for AGLCA members, we provide a discount in our rates. And those rates actually drop. The daily rate then drops to $175. 1 week rate is $450. 2 week rate is $350. 3 week rate is $3, and 4 week rate is $250. So we drop that by 25 cents for the daily, and then 50 cents per foot for the weekly increments. And then our long-term rates are $750 per month for a non-powered boat. We do have some non-powered slips, and then $850 per month for powered slips. So those are the types of things that I think are very important to touch on. One of the things that I can also tell you is that just within probably a 2 to 3 block radius, some of the things that people like to visit in the city are the North Carolina History Center and the Tryon Palace. We also have the birthplace of Pepsi Cola, which is an old-fashioned soda fountain and store, and Caleb Bradham founded the formula for Pepsi, and that was discovered here in New Bern. So we have kind of memorialized that with an old-fashioned soda fountain, which is the old pharmacy where he discovered that formula. And sadly, he just recently passed. So he was actually alive and a part of that history until recently. We also have a lot of boutique shopping, and I know Kim and Joanne remember when they held their rendezvous here, the spring rendezvous several years back, that there's just an unlimited amount of things to see and do here. And so it really is an attraction factor, because we're a historic port town that most people just don't know about. So we're not big, we keep things quaint, we keep things small, and it is very old fashioned, has a small town feel. Right now we are not fully occupied because we are in the winter season, and so we do have a limited number of slips available. We are still highly occupied though, so you do have to call in advance. And I keep telling folks when I talk to them, please call about a month in advance, because it's the size of slip that you may need that may or may not be available because of our higher occupancy rates. Regarding boat slip sales, we are again offering an additional 3% discount to those people interested in learning about our ownership program. Our ownership program right now is offering a 12% discount if you are interested in becoming a member and owning at the marina, but for AGLCA members, we are offering a 15% discount. One of the other things that I should probably let you know is that our governor recently announced that we are actually in phase 3. So if you look at the video that we have on the dock for Looper-palooza, it says phase 2. Well, it's actually phase 3, but it's kind of like phase 2 modified. And the reason I say that is that the only difference is that there is a curfew in place right now where unless you are going to and from work or have a necessity after the hours of 10 p.m. to 5 a.m., there is a curfew. And so the businesses close a little bit early, and those people that are out past that time usually have a valid reason to be able to do that. And then there are size limitations on public gatherings. And those things are make life here seem a little bit normal. And as we head into this warmer spring season, our occupancy rates and all of those northbound and southbound cruisers that go about will start making their way back up towards the north. and we'll start to see an influx. So if you are one of those, we'd certainly appreciate you considering visiting the marina. We'd love to have you visit. And we do hope that we will see more and more of the members visit our marina. We think it's a beautiful place to visit, and we absolutely love having conversations with the loopers. So with that, I will turn it back over to Kim and her team, excuse me. And one final note, I just always love to thank Kim and Joanne and the entire team at the AGLCA for everything that they do to make these things happen. It is somewhat difficult to navigate and learn how to do things virtually. And we really appreciate the opportunity to be able to talk to everybody about our marina and all the effort that goes into making this happen. So enjoy the rest of the event. And thank you again to everybody for listening and taking the time to check us out.
We are back live, and we've got Millissa Alexander with us. So we are ready to take whatever questions you might have for Millissa. You can, of course, as always, type those in the Q&A, or feel free to raise your hand and we can ask those to her live. So we'll give everyone a moment to do that, Millissa. There was quite a lot of information there, and it answered some of the frequently asked questions and some we had from the last time around. So we may have most of it covered. But anything else? I know we recorded that video, Millissa, a few days ago. Anything different or anything you want to add to that now that we're here live?
So that video was very thorough. Somehow you and I nailed it the first time. So I really don't have anything to add.
Okay.
But we certainly just want to say hello to everybody out there. And I do thank you again for your time today. That means the world of difference to little marinas like ours.
Yeah, and Joanne and I were just kind of chatting about when we did have the spring rendezvous in New Bern, probably 4 years ago. It's such a charming, just delightful small town. So hopefully we'll be back there someday. We do have several questions that just popped into the Q&A for you. So starting off, Lori would like to know, are there floating docks at New Bern Grand?
Yes, they all are floating.
Okay.
Even the wave attenuation wall is floating. So that whole 712-foot dock floats.
Great. Next question, and this is from one of our newer members. I've never used transient slips before. What is the average day-to-day availability? And that's kind of a question we get a lot, kind of geared towards how far in advance do people need to make reservations? And that does vary in different areas, but go ahead and kind of answer that for New Bern, if you would, Millissa.
So if you're anticipating being in the area, what I would do is call ahead and chat with one of our team members. We do have a reservation log, and they can take your name down if there's a waiting list for the particular size slip. But honestly, we have people coming and going all the time. And so I would say between 2 weeks to a month, just call ahead and have a conversation with our team members so they can jot your name down. And if something becomes available sooner, they'll also let you know. They're always updating the list and working to make sure that everybody has the ability to visit us.
Okay. Next question. Are there any car rental companies close to the marina?
Yeah, so New Bern is very convenient. So at the airport is about 10 minutes away from the marina. They have several car rental agencies there. We have Uber, we have taxi cab service. We have many conveniences that you would normally find in larger communities, larger towns, but it is very cute, small, and quaint. So yes, we do. We have several.
Okay. Mark and Catherine are thinking about driving over from Charlotte for a preview weekend. They would like to know a little bit more about what that experience would be like.
Oh, well, goodness. So the downtown area is actually open. So our restaurants practice they're socially distanced, and you have to wear a mask unless you're eating or drinking. They do adhere to the curfew, but generally speaking, our town is alive and well, and there's movement here. Most folks kind of find New Bern a reprieve away from the norm, and if they're looking for a cute little day trip, like you say, from Charlotte, that would be a beautiful place to come and stay. New Bern would be a wonderful place to stay for the weekend. Plenty to do.
Great. Next question, can you give us an idea of the cost to purchase a 40-foot slip there at New Bern?
Yeah, so the price varies based on size and location. So Thomas Cleary, who is our boat slip broker, can answer those questions specifically, but they range anywhere from about $1,050 per foot all the way up to about $1,200 per foot. And then when you factor in the discount that we're offering AGLCA members, that's a 15% price reduction off of that. You can do the math. So on that, okay.
Okay, and then also related to that, if you are in the ownership program, and let's say you've purchased a slip there at New Bern Grand and you're doing the loop, does that slip get rented out, and who gets the income from that transient fee if the owner of the slip is not using it at the time?
So the ownership of the marina, they were very clever in that they knew the market, that this would be a cruising population. And so owners actually do get to rent their slip out. We have a rental management program, and we do all the invoicing for you. We bill for you, we collect for you, and then you get the check. And so it's pretty easy. So when you're cruising, you don't really have to worry about that. And because our occupancy rates are so high, we never have a hard time filling your slip. So it's a great way to essentially use that rental income if you're an owner to pay for your HOA fees, essentially. So a wonderful program. And I would say almost every one of our owners probably utilize that at some point in time.
Okay, a few more pricing related questions. Melissa, you mentioned $250 per foot as a monthly rate. The question is that per day?
So our rates are outlined under the rental section, the rental page on our website, but the $250 is the 4-week rate, and I have to look those up because honestly, when you're marketing, you're not talking rates, you're talking other selling points. Mm-hmm. But so the 4-week rate would be that rate until you reach the 2-month mark, and then you go into our long-term rates. So our long-term rates then would be for a powered slip, $850 per foot per month.
Okay. And Eric, if that doesn't answer the question, go ahead and kind of bounce another one to us. More pricing related questions. Sorry, Melissa, I know those are always the challenging ones. Do you know what the monthly HOA fees are?
So I cannot answer that. Thomas has that information. They vary based on the length of the slip that you purchase. And so there's a schedule based on the slip.
Okay.
Side. Yeah.
And then Jeff commented in the chat that he missed the rates for winter stays, like November to March.
We do not change those. They are steady the full year through.
Okay, so since there are so many pricing questions, just tell us one more time where on your website to find that and who to contact if there are more of those.
Okay, so if you ever have any questions, you can certainly email me. My email address is Millissa, and it's spelled differently. It's Millissa @newberngrand.com, and that's NEWBERNGRAND.com. But you can also go to our website. A lot of the information is on our website. You can contact us through our website, and that is www.newberngrandmarinayachtclub.com. And the page that you will find our rental rates, that's under the rental tab.
Okay, I am not seeing any more questions for you at this point, Melissa, so we can go ahead and wrap it up there. I want to thank you so much for your sponsorship and for sharing those details today, and for joining us for Looper-palooza, because it takes our wonderful sponsors to make this happen as well. So thank you for that. Well, we appreciate you.